Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on? And welcome to a very special episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, I'm going to give you a handful. I'm going to give you two handfuls of different coaches and trainers and scientists and professionals that I listen to, if not on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, to consume all of my information so that I can grow as a coach and as a trainer myself. So hopefully, if you're a coach, you're an athlete, you're a trainer, one of these individuals, if not many of them, can help you on your journey to become the best athlete or coach or trainer that you can be. Because I get the question all the time, where did you learn everything that you know right now? Because I did not go to college to be, and keep in mind, I'm a little bit under the weather. I sound worse than I am. You ever get sick and you sound bad, but you feel good? That's where we are right now. So I get the question, where did you learn everything that you learned? Because I went to school to be a gym teacher, not for exercise science, kinesiology, any of these type of topics. So where I learned all of my information was, number one was books. Books have been the biggest thing for me. And I had a stack of books here, and I thought, instead of just giving you all the books that I have, maybe that'll be a different video, but I'll give you all the coaches that I listen to because I've been listening more than reading lately. After I've had a son, I don't have that much time to just sit down and read, right? We're in basketball season, but what I can do is, while I'm daddy daycare and I'm giving little Cash his bottle, I can listen to a podcast, a YouTube video, etc. So that is why I came up with the coaches. And we have coaches, professionals, and I'm going to get to it. Hold on, bro. I know come on, bro. Get to the point. I'm going to get to it. We have coaches, trainers, scientists, professionals on the topics of jump training, rehab, speed training, mobility, nut. What the hell is nut? Oh, nutrition. I don't know why I abbreviated it NUT, but nutrition. If I ever need information on nutrition, these are the certain individuals that I look up their podcasts or their videos or their information. And then the different podcasts that I listen to. Anyways, I've been yapping a lot. So here we go. PGF Performance. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because everybody watching this most likely knows PGF Performance. And I don't listen to PGF Performance that much anymore for the simple fact that I have exhausted all of the information that he's put out. He puts out Instagram posts a lot, which I do, follow. But the PGF podcast, I've listened to every episode probably 4 times. I'm not joking. All of his YouTube videos, I've watched all of his YouTube videos. He's not that active on YouTube anymore, but Instagram. So PGF Performance, definitely worth following. But most of you probably know him. He's very popular. THP Strength. I did want to shout them out. I do not actually listen to THP Strength very much because they talk mostly about vertical jump training. And that is, if there's any topic that I know the most about, it is vertical jump training. So not to say that I know everything that they're talking about, because I don't, but I already know a ton about vertical jump training. So I tend to want to expand a little bit on different topics. But THP Strength, Isaiah Rivera, John Evans, very good guys to follow. I actually went to college with John Evans, and while we didn't really know each other or talk to each other in college, I did see John Evans one time at the gym. There was a big gym with 4 different basketball courts, which one of them, maybe 2 of them, was for volleyball. He was playing volleyball one time, and he went to spike a volleyball, and his shoulder popped out of its socket. And he has a twin brother, so I don't know whether or not it was him or his twin brother. But one of them, their shoulder popped out of their socket. Random fact. When it comes to basketball, because I'm a basketball coach, I really like By Any Means Basketball. He has so many videos on YouTube with breakdowns, and By Any Means Basketball, Coleman Ayers, that is by far my number one source when I need to learn something about basketball. I have a ton of books on basketball, but actually didn't read a lot of them. But By Any Means Basketball, Coleman Ayers, great resource for you if you are a coach or an athlete who plays basketball or coaches basketball. Drew Hanlon, he's very good. He trains Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, a couple other high-level guys. Drew Hanlon, not so much anymore, just because he doesn't at least I don't think he does. He doesn't put out that much. So Drew Hanlon is a great resource when it comes to basketball. I really like his handle program a lot. He has a shooting program called the 10K Shot Club, where you shoot 10,000 shots within 10 weeks or something like that. I actually did it. My shot improved a lot. But I don't need my shot to improve because I'm not playing basketball in a career. But anyways, I did it just for cardio. But R2B Ball, Ryan Rizuki, I listen to him a lot. Not 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 at all. Not at all. I lied to you. I follow him on Instagram. He has excellent posts on Instagram that as a coach are very valuable, but I do not listen to I do not consume any of his content other than when it comes up on my Instagram. But every time it comes up on my Instagram, it is very valuable. When I'm like, oh, I need to know something about something with basketball, it is by any means basketball. And listen, if you have any different coaches, leave them down below. Please let me know if I'm missing anybody, which I probably am, so that I can start expanding as well and listen to these other coaches as well, because I love to consume information that can help me become a better coach or trainer. But by any means basketball, when it comes to basketball, that's my go-to source for information on YouTube. Now, moving from basketball, these are just strength coaches that have very good information. Essentially, Will Rattel. I recently found Will Rattel, and he has a ton of videos on YouTube. They're normally very short, or the old ones were very short, like 2, 3, 4 minutes. The new ones are him lifting mixed with questions in between. But he is probably the strongest strength coach maybe that exists. Like, dude is a freak. But Will Rattel has excellent takes, excellent information. Got to be following Will Rattel on YouTube. Matt McKinnis Watson, very big on plyometrics. He is the sole reason why there's hopping so much in my programming, especially for my guys in person. But Matt McKinnis Watson, great takes on plyometrics in general. He's what got me into deep tier plyometrics. He has really, really, really good takes. Blaine McConnell. He has good information on YouTube, although I tend to consume his information very quickly. Like, I'll watch a whole video and then he doesn't have that many videos on YouTube. So I've consumed all of his information. On Instagram, you can follow him as well. I think his name's like Storapabi or something like that on Instagram. But Blaine McConnell is a very good guy to follow on Instagram to get some information. Jump Science, who has been feeling a little bit freaky lately on Instagram. He's been getting more into like he'll post some sarcastic stuff. He has really, really good scientific information, but he has a bunch of different takes that go against the norm, which I like. I like guys who are going against the grain, because you can't just take what you know and assume that is correct. You do the best with what you know right now. Like, as a parent, you do the best that you can with what you know at the time. It's the same thing as a coach. So I like when people have different opinions on this type of stuff. I don't know everything about vertical jump training. So Jump Science is the first guy who introduced, well, I don't really focus on power. When we look at the force velocity curve, I don't focus too much on power. I tend to touch on the edges of the force velocity curve, max strength and max speed. And then if you bring up the two ends of the curve, the middle will follow. That's where I, first started hearing about that. So Jump Science is a great one to follow. Both, I think it's 2X Athlete on YouTube, but it's Jump Science on Instagram. Max Schmarzo, who is a partner with Paul Fabrett's PGF Performance in EdgeU. EdgeU is going to be great for you to learn. It's like a subscription service that is essentially like a college degree, although it's like $20 to $30 a month. I can't remember. But they have tons of good information there. I can't say it was life-changing for me, Edu or Max Schmarzo's content, but there was a ton of stuff that I learned from Max Schmarzo and Edu. Although now Max Schmarzo is the most famous 32-year-old dad in Iowa, I think it is. He's been on a streak on Instagram of trying to go professionally, which I love, play basketball professionally. So Max Schmarzo's good. Jake Tura, man, my voice is taking a hit. Jake Tura, Keith Barr, I'm going to go a little bit faster, and Jill Cook. If you have any tendinopathy or any knee pain and you want to learn more about your knee pain, Jake Tura is like the guy's guy. He like brings the research to like the normal consumer. Keith Barr and Jill Cook, they are the scientists. They are the researchers. But Jake Tura, Keith Barr, Jill Cook, if you have any tendinopathy. So here's the podcast that I listen to. And keep in mind, if these tickle your fancy, then great. If not, we'll just move past them. Andrew Huberman. Most of you likely know him, but I do listen to a lot of Andrew Huberman just because it is very scientific. I did make a video, you have to be Andrew Huberman mixed with David Goggins. You got to be the scientist mixed with, okay, let's just fucking go. Like, let's just take action. I still stand by that. But Andrew Huberman, I do get a lot of my stuff from, or I listen to a lot. Although sometimes he has episodes that I completely skip because I just don't care about the topic. But, everything from oral health, which I did listen to. Who doesn't want cleaner teeth and a cleaner mouth? All the way to sleep performance, tons of different topics. Dr. Andy Galpin is good to listen to, but he just has, for me, I love his stuff on like fast twitch muscle fibers and sport performance, but he just has like a little bit too much of like general population strength and conditioning for me. So elderly and, women and tons of stuff that is very necessary, but he's more general population than just sport performance. But Dr. Andy Galpin is going to be a great resource. The PGF podcast, the Jacked Athlete podcast from Jake Tura, the Coach 'em Up podcast. Although I'm running out of episodes, the Coach 'em Up podcast with Zach Zillner and Tim Riley on YouTube and probably everywhere you stream podcasts. But you guys have to be on that. That's a new podcast that I think they just started up recently, or maybe I just found it recently, but super good guests, super good information on all topics, strength and conditioning. So the Coach 'em Up podcast is excellent. When it comes to anything rehab or prehab, that is not tendinopathy. If it's tendinopathy, I tend to, go to Jake Tura, Keith Barr, Joe Cook. But all other rehab, there's a channel on YouTube called E3 Rehab, and it is so good. It is so good. If you have any injuries ever, which they probably talk about tendinopathy too, it's just so good. He gives you the anatomy, the function of the body. Then he gives you all of the exercises that you can do to fix it. Recently, I've been having shoulder pain, and I thought to myself, maybe I should go to physical therapy for my shoulder just to see what they would give me, just to learn a little bit. And I thought, well, first of all, I don't have time for that. Like, it's not just me going to physical therapy for an hour. It's driving there, driving back, the task switching costs. Like, I could be working while I'm doing that. So E3 Rehab is what I looked at to find out what to do for my shoulder. Now, I already have helped tons of athletes fix shoulder pain, but it's just a good take. It's just good information to consume. And maybe like this coach has something different than I might have. So E3 Rehab, if you have any rehab, and then Squat University, which, man, if you know Squat University, he's been very infamous for putting booty cheeks on his Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok videos. Like, he has good information, but he knows that a bunch of thirsty guys are going to click his video if there's a girl doing a squat and her ass is out, right? So it'll be like a girl doing a squat with a nice butt, and then it'll do like a countdown, and then it'll say, if you have hip pain, do this. Like, so anyways, Squat University does have good stuff. It's just like, I don't know, just too much TNA. Can there ever be too much TNA? I don't know. But anyways, moving on to nut or nutrition. If I ever need to know anything about nutrition, I actually have a good friend named Tyler Miller who I'll probably ask about nutrition. But Thomas DeLauer is pretty good when it comes to nutrition. But Lane Norton is the go-to guy. If I ever need to know anything about nutrition, or I ever have questions about my own nutrition, which has been terrible lately, I go to Lane Norton. So that is, and actually when I used to do bodybuilding shows, I followed Lane Norton's advice. Speed. There's only 2 categories left. Speed. Jump Science actually has a Instagram called Speed Science. I think it's called Speed Science. Maybe it's called 2X Athlete. But Daniel Back, Speed Science, Les Spellman, Just Jamari. These are going to be good guys when it comes to speed, because not every athlete, if you're a coach or a trainer, not every athlete just wants to jump higher. Some athletes need to improve their speed as well. So those are good coaches and trainers to look at on that. And then when it comes to mobility, I have terrible mobility, to be honest, but I have tried in the past to be consistent with mobility training. And the two coaches that I enjoy the most are the Bodyweight Warrior, who has a ton of free mobility routines. You can follow along with him on YouTube, like hip mobility, full body mobility. And you can pick, like, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And you could just follow along with him for the routines on YouTube, the Bodyweight Warrior. And then Beard the Best You Can Be, who does some crazy shit. But Beard the Best You Can Be, I actually bought his program and it was just too long for me. Like, I think he did have shorter sessions, but I did like 1 week of it and it was like an hour a day of mobility, and I just don't have that time. But like I said, I think he does have shorter sessions. But these are the coaches, the trainers that I listen to the most, because I've been listening a lot, that really help me. They have good takes. They have good information. I'm sure that I missed a lot, but I got a lot of my information from books. I got a lot of my information from research studies, because my fiance was going to school to get her doctorate degree, in which she had free access to virtually every study that exists. So I really took advantage of that. But listening is probably what I've been doing most. So listen, and audiobooks like Audible, I listen to audiobooks, I listen to podcasts, I listen to YouTube videos. YouTube Premium has been phenomenal for me. Like, maybe you don't have the money to pay the extra, maybe you don't care about the ads, but I listen to so many videos on YouTube that YouTube Premium has come in clutch. Like, I'm not trying to hear no ads. So without further ado, this has been the top, I don't know how many I just said, coaches and trainers and scientists and professionals and individuals that I listen to on a week-to-week basis to consume as much information as possible to help me be the best coach and trainer that I can be. So if any of these people, like I said, tickle your fancy, then go ahead and listen to them as well, in addition to this Answers for Athletes channel. But this video has been very long. Maybe I yap too much. But anyways, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.